Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's Thursday, the 6th of April 2023. I am awaiting the imminent arrival of my beautiful friend Lynn, and Bobo's having a little scrap with the bird over the ball, as he does. Thanks, Bobo. As soon as I start making a video, he decides to get rowdy. I'm sitting here in my beautiful garden. My cleaning lady has just left, been and gone, done her work and gone, and I'm enjoying the garden. And yeah, I thought I might just make a little video for you. I've got to thinking, I've hurt my sciatic nerve very badly, pardon me, and I don't know how I hurt it. It's a bit bizarre. On Tuesday, because my car's broken down, the brakes are failing and they're due to be repaired, and I haven't got the money, so I have to wait till mid-May. So I'm stressing out about money, as I do frequently. So I think partially I've hurt my back because I stress myself out of my girls worrying about money, which is kind of a pointless thing to do, because worry is not going to bring the money in. And, if I had $1 for every moment that I worried, I'd be a multi-billionaire by now. But then I could be like Donald Trump, just arrested for all sorts of malfeasances that billionaires expect to get away with. And I don't want to be Donald Trump. I don't want to have billions of dollars and just be creepy and weird. I can be poor and be creepy and weird for nothing. It's all relative. Gosh. Anyway, I've hurt my back and I don't know how. But the funny thing is, on Tuesday I got my hair done, because I booked that like 8 weeks ahead and I was looking fairly awful, so I had to spend the money on my hair. And to save money, I don't get my eyebrows tinted or my eyelashes tinted anymore. So I've got my hair done. My hair looks nice, but I still look a bit, faded out to grey. And the joys of being, an almost 58-year-old woman in dire poverty is not exactly delightful, but I can see the funny side of it sometimes. But anyway, my hairdresser Kylie's a wonderful friend to me. I've been going to her for since 2011, I think it was. Pretty sure it was 2011. So what's that? 12 years. So I've been supporting her and she's been supporting me doing my hair for a long time. She's a wonderful woman. So I told her on Tuesday, I said, I'm coming to you by bus and train, which is the most direct route to get to, her area where she lives and works. And I said, so I'll have to walk, because it's a 22-minute walk from the train station to her place, which is fine. I did it back in 2012 when my former car broke down while I was waiting to get my small inheritance so I could buy my current car. So I said to her, I can walk it. I've got the sore foot with the arthritis, but at least it's not septic arthritis. Because back in the day, I walked to her place, writhing in agony, and had to hop on one foot the whole way there and hop on one foot back to the train station, not realising that I had a septic arthritic infection, and the next day I had to take myself off to hospital and was put on IV antibiotics, which were excruciatingly painful. The IV antibiotics were more painful than the foot, quite frankly. And I always joke about how I was sitting up there at the PA hospital with freshly coiffed hair, looking fairly freaking fabulous, but writhing in agony, and sitting there with all the young doctors coming around And my then former friend at the time had gone to get me a nightie because I hadn't expected to be kept in overnight. And so she had brought a nightie, but because she just grabbed any nightie, she happened to grab the sexiest nightie I owned that was not exactly suitable for sitting in hospital garb. And she neglected to bring a dressing gown. So I was hopping around on my very sore foot, like Hop Along Cassidy or some old pirate on a peg leg, which could have nearly happened to me, like the hospital stuff. So you could have got gangrene, Tanya, and you could have lost your foot. So anyway, I was sort of sitting there whimsically thinking, oh, well, here I am, crippled with fabulous hair, right? My very sexy nightie. And it was awkward because all these young, handsome doctors would come along and I'd be like blushing. And I was like, don't mind the nightie, doctor. My friend's got a very warped sense of humour, which she did actually. So yeah, it was a really weird experience back in the day. So my lovely hairdresser, Kylie, made sure there was no repeat performance of that. So she very sweetly picked me up from Cannon Hill Shops because I walked there so I could get the money to pay her. And she picked me up from the shops and drove me to her house and then dropped me back to the train station going home. So it was actually really lovely of her because I didn't have to hobble along on my foot, which is still a bit sore lately because I have this weird lump coming out the side. You can just see it there, and but it's not sepsis, it's just some weird arthritic bone thing, spur or something. And I went to the doctor with it recently and he was like, yeah, just get your foot up and go home and elevate your foot. Like, they really don't care. No one does doctoring anymore. They just want an easy ride. I mean, they got their degrees and COVID came along and no one gives a fuck anymore. They really don't. It's quite awful. Unless you've got COVID or some horrible bioengineered disease that's, the fashion of the day. You're just completely left to rot on the side of the road now. Although my beautiful psychiatrist was a bit disappointed because I was supposed to go and see him yesterday for my regular debrief, and I was planning on taking the bus in, and again it's a long walk from Garden City to his clinic, but I couldn't do it. I got struck with tummy issues, so I was as sick as a dog yesterday. I've had a really bad time of it lately with my health. It's been bang, 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 but a lot of it is promulgated by all the stress I'm under with worrying about how I'm going to afford to keep my car going. And, my jewellery obsession, melting silver and having misadventures with that. I've literally run completely out of money and I don't have much money to begin with. So it's been a hell of a we're into the 4th month of the year now. Here she is. She says, don't worry, Mama T. I love you. I love you. As long as we've got something to eat, we're okay. And she's right, we are okay. We are okay, aren't we, Charlie? Yes. So yesterday my sciatic played up and the tummy issues. And I was like, why is my back sore? I didn't do anything. I sat in the hairdresser's chair getting my hair done lovely. And I didn't do any wild tempestuous exercise. I didn't dig holes in the garden. I didn't lift heavy furniture. All I did was walk from the station to the shopping centre and got picked up. So why am I writhing in agony? But anyway, it is what it is. I probably twisted in my sleep or something, threshing in my sleep, or done something stupid. So anyway, last night was a difficult night because I literally thrashed and thrashed all night long with my sore back. It was uncomfortable and I had to get up and pee all night, didn't I, with a sore sciatica. So each time I had to get out of bed to pee, it was like excruciating, and then hobble to the loo and hobble back. but it was okay. I've trained myself to fall immediately back to sleep, so that was okay. But goodness. So I'm a bit wrung out, as you can probably tell. A bit wrung out. Not much sleepies, Charlie. Yes, not much sleepies. So, anyway, so it's a beautiful day today. I've been listening to Neil Oliver on YouTube podcast, Love Letter to the British Isles. And today's episode was all about Robert Burns, the Scottish poet, who came from Dumfries, which is actually one of the areas where some of my ancestors came from. And I'm talking way, way, way back. We're talking my great-great-grandparents or great-grandparents. So long time ago. So not in my living memory. But anyway, I have a soft spot for Scotland and Ireland and England. And obviously, you know, my mother's ancestry is German and Polish. So yeah, it would be nice to go back and visit all the sacred sites and visit all the ancestral lands as well. Although I probably don't have much of a connection to Poland, even though I look very Polish, because the ancestry is far enough back that I don't have an experiential guide of what it feels like to be Polish. Apart from when my Polish friends used to make me pierogies, because they wanted me to taste food from home, right? And they were very nice. I like pierogies. I think I pronounce it properly. Pierogies. And like my mother being German, I have a fair bit of, you know, German cultural things embedded to me food-wise, and, you know, with the whole Christmas palaver that I used to absolutely reject because I'm Jewish, so it's complicated. But so anyway, but I have a few cultural motifs from that. There's a lot of that culture I reject for obvious reasons. And but Scotland I have a soft spot for, and Ireland and England. I'd like to visit again. I have been to England very briefly as a child to board ship in Southampton before we returned on the return voyage when I was 8 years old to come back to New Zealand from Germany. So I have been to England, but I don't really remember it. I mean, mainly we were just on a train going to Southampton to board ship. So yeah, I didn't see anything. I don't think I saw much of London at all. I have no memory of it, really. I vaguely remember Southampton. Well, anyway, now that I'm almost 58 in a few days' time, I mean, that was 50 years ago. That's half a century ago, people, since I last travelled to Europe. So I always have this fantasy that miraculously I'll win lotto or something, and I'll get to travel to all the sacred sites around the world. That's my fantasy and something I'd like to make into a reality one day. But seriously, with my poverty issues and my poor health, I'm not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. But I met a lovely woman on Facebook in the Women's Metalsmith group, and we chatted for 2 hours the other day, and she comes from Taos in New Mexico, and she said, you need to come and visit me here sometime, because this is if I ever fulfill my dreams of having enough money to visit anywhere. She said it's also a very magical place. And so I googled Taos, and indeed it is. It had the longest continuous, inhabitants, the Pueblo Indians, and it's famous for the Pueblo architecture, which some of it is 5 stories high. That dates back to Spanish conquest in the 1600s. So yeah, that's pretty fabulous. I would like to see that. I would like to visit that. And she said it's a town that is very small town, but mainly populated by artists and jewelers like herself and arty people. So I really would enjoy seeing that. I love to admire other people's art and beautiful workmanship and skills. So I really would delight in that. But, you know, I sit in my garden making videos for YouTube, living in semi-psychedelic dream state, fantasizing about all the places on earth I could be right now if I had enough money, right? And you'd need enough money. You'd need enough money to travel there, plus pay for accommodation, plus feed yourself, plus have a return airfare, and plus have enough money to buy a few nice little treats or trinkets while you're there as well, wouldn't you, Charlie? Hello. 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 She says, don't worry, Mama T. All your dreams are manifested in the eternal now. You just need to believe and work hard at your jewellery, which I'm starting so late in life that it seems an impossible dream still. And you just need to keep love and life and hope alive. And know that I love you, Mama T. Even if we don't make it to see all the sacred spaces. Even if it doesn't happen, Mama. As a spirit, you can visit there in a nanosecond. I know, but I wanted to go while I was still incarnated in this 3D physical world, in my 3D physical arthritic 58-year-old lady hobbit body. She says, it is what it is, Mama T. It is what it is. If we hadn't been robbed by malfeasant, evil individuals in my own family and marriage, I would have been able to do all those wonderful things. Yes, she says. I know. So I've had a very beautiful and spiritual week, and a lot of love and kindness gifted me. I had a visit from my friend Sally and her partner Peter a few days ago as well from New Zealand, which was delightful. And then I got my hair done. That was on Monday. And on Tuesday I got my hair done, and I was really fussed and, protected and loved by my friend Kylie, who drove me to and from the station and did my hair. And today I had my cleaning lady come, and she's from Indonesia, and she's a lovely woman, and I always tell her stories about spiritual ghost stories, true ghost stories that I experienced with my ex-lover back in 2016, and I always tell her other wonderful stories, things that I've learnt over the years or real experiences. And then my friend Lynn's coming in about half an hour or so. So then we'll sit under the trees and, we'll enjoy each other's company. And then I've got my little birdie friend Charlie, my little doggy friend Beauregard. And it's Passover, started last night. And then my groceries are arriving sometime this afternoon, because I had to buy groceries online. Because I've got no car, I can't use my car, so I had to make that happen ASAP. And the timing couldn't be more perfect because it's Good Friday on Friday, so all the shops would have been closed tomorrow. So we slipped that one in just in the nip of time, Charlie. Food, glorious food. I'm quite hungry. I had to eat pasta last night with leftover pesto, and I was a bit worried that might make me sick, because the pesto, you're supposed to use it within a week, right? But it's been in the fridge, so I took a chance scooping that into the pasta. And I threw a couple of boiled eggs into the water when I was boiling the pasta. So I had boiled eggs and pasta with pesto for dinner last night. And I was voraciously hungry, so I ate all the pasta. I had like 3 servings. So it was a little bit greedy of me, but I was quite hungry. And I'm a bit peckish now, actually. Could do with something now. Probably should go in and make something. I don't have any matzah in the house. I'm not observing Passover per se, literally per se. I didn't light the candles. I've not been invited to any seders because it's been that way for many years. And so it is what it is. Yeah, Passover, passing over. Just another holiday in the space-time continuum. And yes, it's my birthday on Wednesday. So looking forward to that. I'm going to go out with my daughter and my best friend Jared. Is taking me out for my birthday for dinner, so that'll be nice. And my neighbour and his partner down the road are taking me out for lunch to visit his elderly mother, who's 93, a few days after my birthday, so that'll be nice. So everything's happening at Sacred Space, at Titanium's realm, and it's peaceful and contented and happy. Hopefully my back will not hurt quite so much by tomorrow. It's really not so much my back, it's more down my groin and my left hip. So hopefully I'll feel a bit better by the time my birthday rolls around. And yes, so I'm just taking life day by day and going with the flow and praying for miracles as I have always done. So that's all I got to talk about today from Sacred Space. Just happy little birblings from my garden. Have a wonderful day, people. Happy Easter. Chag Sameach Pesach. Greetings from the birdie and the wild ones, and enjoy your day and your night and your family and your friends and your beloveds. Shalom from Sacred Space. Bye for now.